Hello, and welcome into the MKU Playoffs Semifinals Division 1. We have two amazing teams going to battle here today for the MKU Playoffs. We've got Gungnir and Bree. It's going to be the battle of the century because both of these teams, respectively, have just played amazingly to be where they are at this point. And I cannot possibly wait to see who's going to be able to come out on top in this one. Today, I have my partner here, Awoken, and I just got to ask, are you excited for this matchup or what?
I absolutely am. Like you said, both these teams have been doing absolutely incredible things to get to the point where they are today, and both absolutely, just looking at the lineup card, both of them are bringing their absolute best. They both want this finals berth more than anything, and they're not going to stop at anything to get it.
I totally agree. Whenever you're on this semifinals brink, this close to moving forward, you only have to bring the best of the best talent to your lineups. And I'm glad to see that everyone was good, healthy, and ready to go for this matchup because genuinely, a lot of people don't get to experience what Division 1 truly means.
Right, for sure. And for the 12 people on this lineup card right here, we all absolutely incredible players in their own right, but the composition of even better teams. On the side of Gungnir, you have Taye, Ganyu, and for the name changes, I'll have a look for who each of them are in a second. But Ganyu, Segawa Hero, Sorata, Texo, and Toad. You know, been through a couple of different clans together, but a group of players that knows each other well, despite the clan tag they might be wearing, and has won it all before as members of separate clans for Division 1 in the past. So definitely in a familiar spot, as is Bree, who have already kind of become the super team of the modern era MKTX. Always bringing out the best lineups they possibly can, always making runs towards the title of whatever tournament they're playing in. And with this kind of lineup, once again, I'm going to have myself a look at who everyone is.
Absolutely.
Big Floppa, who is Starlo. Chad Floppa, who is Falso. Koryu, LMDS. We got him. And Zai, who I believe, that is Thomas. Yeah. All these players, just so much winning experience they have behind them, ready to apply it to this match.
And I think that's going to be a make it or break it situation. The veteran status of who's been here the most, because you also got the nerves going on, right? You are considered some of the best players in MKU. So you have that expectation that you're going to be playing extremely well, doing all the right things, playing out of your mind. So the veteran status of being here time and time again is going to help those nerves, going to help your consistency. And I feel like we do have a very competitive lineup on both sides of just playoff and championship experience. So it's going to be an extremely interesting one, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Looking through the teams, I'm pretty sure the only MKC name changes. Segawa Hero is Gilgamesh. Ganyu is Nyx. Once again, both players, anyone that's been at the top level of this game for a while are familiar with. Absolute forces to be reckoned with.
So those
know these players that they're playing with so well.
Those are the players you've got an eye on. That's what it seems like.
Just pointing out the name changes more or less, but
okay.
I mean, all 12 of the players in this room are players to keep an eye on. They're all, like I said, absolutely incredible in their own right. And all capable of being massive difference makers in a match like this one. It's going to come down to team composition, communication, and strategy more so than just being good at this game.
That's what I was about
the
to
way
bring
I
up
see it.
too. Yeah, absolutely.
sure.
Knowing your role and what you have to do to take out the other competitors, because like you said, everyone's the best of the best of their own right. So it's just a matter of being able to use what you get and be able to utilize what you can to take out the other competitors, because at this point, when everyone is just so good, you have to realize, hey, sometimes you got to sit back, sit in the mid pack, and really understand and saying, hey, we know what we have to do to win. We just have to be able to utilize and make it happen.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing about the MKU playoffs, you don't just have to win; you have to win twice.
Yeah, that's the best of three is brutal. That is
Yeah,
absolutely
the best of three can be absolutely brutal. Winning match one just gives you so much, not only momentum, but also just so much confidence in your team. And like we've seen teams lose game one and then come back and still win the set, but the ability to be able to even do that just takes so much, not even just in game skill, but in mental, even more so.
absolutely.
Really just goes to show how quite literally everything you can think of is a factor in these playoffs.
It really is because, like, yeah, coming from a different background of tier G kind of gameplay, looking at it every single week, it's like it's totally different to think about how every single one of these players know exactly what they want to do and have a game plan going into this, right? It's just quite mind blowing that we're going to be seeing gameplay that you're not really used to. That these players, they know what they want to accomplish. They have a game plan going into it, and now it's just a matter of fact if they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah,
And
execution,
yeah,
always
exactly.
the biggest factor. As we make our way towards a full room here, we're looking at, I believe, 3, 6, 9, 11. So just one more person to get in this room, and we can get underway.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see who is going to come out on top in this one. Currently, with the prediction vote, Free is on top by almost 21,000 votes. So
And
we
can
have
you
a little
really
bit of a fan favorite here.
and can you really be surprised? I mean, like I said, Bree
Yeah.
has kind of become the super team of the modern online Mario Kart era. They've been, even if they're not winning everything, they're still, making grand finals of everything. They're still um just always always keeping on top of their game, having their best players, just doing everything it takes to win.
It's quite interesting to see a team with this much championship potential, veteran status, to be able to to always be here, to always say, hey, we have the best players, we have the best recruiting, and be able to just compete at the high level every single season. It's quite interesting to even believe. It's like, eh, I don't know. It's a little bit of I guess I'm kind of at a loss for words when it comes down to it, because
Yeah.
whenever you're just watching like terrible gameplay week after week, and then you come to this and you're like, okay, these people are passionate about the game, they've been grinding the game, they know exactly what they want to do. It's quite mind-blowing to have a team to be this strong. But we also have to not count out Gungnir either, as they are rightfully here as well, and they've been battling it out the entire season.
Yeah. Apologies for the ad, by the way. We are not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, but
Darn it.
still waiting for one more person to get into this room. And as soon as we see that last me walk up there, we will be underway.
All right, apparently Div1 also has problems getting into rooms. Who would have guessed?
That's not even just a division problem. That's just a Mario Kart problem. There's always that one person, no matter how good the players and teams are. There's always going to be that one person that waits until 09:55 to get into the room because they
Yeah.
don't want the penalty.
I am guilty of doing that as well. It's just sometimes things happen in life and you can't get in the room immediately. But,
Yeah.
it happens. It happens. I can't fault you too much. I've been there time and time again.
Yeah. And What did
Oh,
I
there
say?
he is.
Last person
There
walks
he
into
is.
the room at literally 2:10:00 Eastern time.
Right on time.
Right
Let's
on time.
go.
Will not be getting a penalty, thankfully, for whichever team that was. I couldn't quite spot that but
Yeah, that was
all
very,
six
very
of them
lucky.
definitely breathing a sigh of relief as
You
they
know they're-
head right into the first race of MKU D1 playoffs, and we're going to be seeing either DKJ or Bone Dry Dunes. What do you think of these tracks, Pidgey?
I enjoyed Bone Dry Dones a lot. I actually, when I first started playing the game, I didn't like it that much. Because it was just being bad at it, and it's a really awkward track to drive. Genuinely,
It's one of those tracks, yeah.
But it's genuinely a really fun time. There's a lot of strategy that can go into it. Final shortcut, absolutely bonkers crazy. It can change up the standings in a split second. So there's a lot that you can do. DKJ, on the other hand, I enjoy the track, but man, if you get hit out on this third lap, you are just having an uphill battle trying to get up to the top spot. So it's a pretty rough start for me, especially if you do not want this track. So, but still, we'll see what can happen here on the very first race of semifinals. We are now off. Starting it on Thomas at the moment. He's going to be in 10th place, grabbing a single item box. And now this is the fun part, to see all the people who can fail the super bounce and not take themselves out properly. Let's see, he's going to work his way up all the way to 3rd, moving down to 6th. So that was actually a huge move from Thomas here.
Yeah, starting in the back with that coin advantage, so big for Thomas, and able to navigate the bumps of the pack and make his way into 2nd, surrounded by Gungnir members looking to go for a kill and establish early front presence. Damn misses on the back, but Thomas does miss the double, and if Gungnir can get Thomas out of here, then they're going to be in a really good spot.
Yeah,
Damn,
honestly.
maybe going for the back. Texo with triple nanas in 3rd, but the red will go through them. So, looking at 2-3 for Bree, but now top 2 as the blue comes in, and Bree's just going to take that, it looks like. They don't mind. Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful
And that's
back
exactly
there.
why. Great back from Thomas will establish him very solidly in 1st now. As
And the red
skips, and he's able
Oh,
to keep the defense.
everything's working out for Bree at the moment to get around
Thomas
the
is
mid
doing
pack.
everything for his team.
It's insane.
pulls
Oh
double
my
green.
god! What
Mate in
an
2nd.
absolute play, man. Oh, this is absolutely insane. It's just working out for Thomas at the moment. Backing the green, doesn't land, goes through another item box, and now it's just his race to lose. Oh my, what? I have never seen double, triple greens, I guess you can say. That is quite an experience, backing another green.
He simply has the Belgian copy of the game. I don't know what I can say. Gungnir, though, it's been all sunshine and rainbows for Thomas, but the rest of his team, I don't think we can really say the same. We have, I think, Gungnir in 2-3-4 at the moment. Floppa kind of there a little bit, but Toad making his way up in the bill, and Sorata getting that hit onto Floppa with the bill. One of the two Floppas, probably Starlo.
And like I said, it is not an easy time trying to catch up. But what a breaks! Oh my god, let me know what acrylics they have on their carts, because that was an absolute beautiful play to keep up on that top spot finish. We're going to be seeing, that was not too great for Bree on that very first race.
Thomas doing everything he needed to, but kind of looking like a LeBron situation, just can't get the help he needs.
That's an understatement.
Gungnir walking away from race 1 on, I believe, their track pick with a 2-3-4-5. And yeah, Italic, I think he did just back his mate at the line.
Ooh.
I can't have been the only one that caught that.
Oh, that's also not really what, how you want to start out the race. But sometimes it happens. You think you're doing the right thing, you think you have a good play, looking in the back camera, and then you're like, oh, yeah, that was my teammate. Happens to everyone, at least.
Gungnir getting off to a little bit of an early lead, winning the first race by 8. Obviously, when you could be playing upwards of 36 in here, 1 + 8 might not be that big of a difference maker, but everything counts in its own right. Gungnir are gonna go right back to Bone Dry Dunes, their track pick from race 1, and can't really think of much better of a track here to go. Bone Dry Dunes always been notoriously anti-first, and with that being Bree's only spot in the front, Gungnir looking to take advantage.
Yeah, I genuinely do think that this is probably the best track pick for them, and it's just such a good disruption of just being able to just pass first without an absolute issue. As you're seeing the entire mid-pack trying to chase down Thomas. It is literally a battle royale for the first place, but he's only going to be able to grab a single item box, and this might be the end of Thomas as you see him getting hit by a red shell and dropping all the way down to 10th place.
Not going to have that much of an issue catching up, though, as he's still sitting with a really, really comfortable amount of coins for how far in the front he started. Able to collect them really quickly, and that's just another super important factor of, you know, maintaining front presence, making sure that you do everything in your power to mitigate the RNG that Mario Kart does definitely, admittedly, have.
It's just one of those things you got to work past. It's the, you know, I always like to call it I say it's a 70-30 when it comes to driving an RNG, because RNG can disrupt your race a lot more than you think. But it also just comes down to technical skill, like we just saw with Thomas with the front run. But now we're seeing him.
Getting trailed.
Oh, no.
Not the prettiest for our other POV either. Sorata kind of stuck back here and getting boomeranged once again by, I think, his mate. Unless there was a Bree member behind Texo as well, and getting back by We Got Him.
Now Thomas working his way back up, 7th place, got the triple nanas, drags out
Gets
one of the
one trail and
gets
two.
two. Beautiful move with the triple nanas. We got 2 Bree members right in front of him in 4-5. Got a star in hand. This is going to be absolutely insane if he's able to pull something off here.
Stopping on the map, but that will just be lag. Thomas pulling stars at 6 is making me think something's in play, but just nothing is being used.
Look at this amazing shortcut, working his way up to 3rd place.
That's a 2-3-4-5. That's a 2-3-4-5 for Bree. Toad holding it down for his team, but that's almost the exact same race that Bree just flipped. That is almost the exact same race. We're going to be looking at basically an even war here.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see it even going through it. I mean, that's what we're here for, to see the competitive nature go forward. But Thomas, honestly, a trooper to get past what he was going through, falling off the map, getting hit out at first, and being able, and he got extremely lucky in my opinion with that triple shrooms and star.
Once again, using the Belgian copy of the game to his advantage and getting 2 stars there. And yeah, I was right. We are now tied up after 2. So first race was in fact negligible. 2 stars in 6th at the end of lap 3 when the pack is that close. You cannot ask for much better at all.
No, you really can't. And like you said, I really thought someone was in play too, because when you start getting those dodges in those top spots, you automatically get suspicious and start just spamming it out. But the patience that Thomas had, he wanted to wait for it. He had that double star, and genuinely, it just worked out for him there. And that shortcut on Bone Dry, of course, being the most broken thing, one of the most broken things in the game. So he was able to just work his way back up. But we are now going to the most eventful track in the game, Mario Circuit.
It could, also be a factor of Gungnir did in fact have shock, but Thomas was just in a dodge the entire second half of lap 3, so they didn't have an opportunity to use it with, Gungnir still having held first that entire time, and they used the shock, then Thomas just wins automatically, so...
Yeah, they really...
Yeah, it could have just been prevention, and if that was the case, then Bree was able to make it work out in their favor and tie the score up.
Genuinely, I totally do agree with you. Same thoughts were going through my mind. But we're going to be off with a little bit of a coin running. I didn't know we were playing Temple Run today, but that's the name of the game going forward on Mario Circuit. Just going to get to those 10 coins. Misses a lot of those. Just went right in between them. Great field goal there. But Thomas still had so much time. It's Mario Circuit. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, you don't understand. No, everyone thinks of bagging. Oh, they think of, you stay back to get powerful items. No, we coin bag in top divs. As everyone always says, coin's such an important factor in this game that sometimes overlooked before you get to the super high levels, but they really do matter so much.
It is quite insane. There was a few clips that I've seen, shot comes out though, but Thomas is going to be able to grab a single item box there. Not going to be too impactful in my opinion, but you're seeing the pack kind of stretch out But like you were saying before, coins are insane. There's a few clips where people are like, how the heck did he get so far in front of me? And it's like, did they have 10 coins? And it's such a sizable gap that you can absolutely get in just such a quick time. The red shell was trailing for him. Don't know where it went, but he's going to be able to grab that double item box.
Not 100% sure who used that shock. We're going to find out in a moment, but we saw Thomas stopping before set, but we also saw a couple Gungnir members dodging. Looks like a lot of Gungnir in front of Thomas directly, but...
Ooh! Oh,
Gungnir with a statement of a race. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, what that was?
Yeah, that was brutal.
The last does hurt a little bit, but that's still...
Yeah,
exactly what you want to make a statement like that against the titan of a team that is Bree and has been for so many MKU seasons now.
Yeah, Gungnir here absolutely bringing it their all. Truly playing consistent, knowing what they want to accomplish and doing it extremely well. And we're already seeing that RWS pick come out, as well as Trainbow. But getting Trainbow will be the most ideal situation here for Bree, being able to move up that mid pack, as that is the track we're going to next. It's just such a strong track pick, and I'm glad that a lot more teams recently have been picking it up and just using it to its full potential.
Yeah, I joined the community. This track kind of didn't really exist in the space of the online meta, but then probably I want to say over the course of 2021, everyone just started picking it. I don't even know like what teams it started from, but everyone started picking this for bottom spots, and from there just word kept getting out through the community that wait, this really works, and Bree looking to take advantage of that at the absolute highest level.
Like, look at that. It's so easy. It's so straightforward to get up here in the top spots, but gonna get bumped out to the side a little bit. Good moves, but still, it's going to be that simple to work their way up.
Yeah, you can keep first for so long, but I didn't say that. You can keep first, but only really for so long, as you know, it takes so much to get into first that you have to be able to use your opportunity to get up there wisely, or else you're just going to get passed right back up by someone else that has that same opportunity. That's exactly what happened to Thomas there with the 2 Gungnir members behind him. And despite all of the lead changes, we are once again looking at a Gungnir top 3. Toad probably going to end up going wide on one of these turns and going to allow that back to hit the Bree member.
The communication is what we're looking out for here, being able to use these items to their full potential, allowing your teammate to get out of the way, using the bomb back and connecting to it. But going into this final section, it's looking like a lot of Gungnir here, man. I do not think there's any Bree to be seen. Actually, in 3rd place there, all right, not too brutal.
They were in 3-4 for the majority of Section 3 after all those bombs hit, so maybe not the absolute end of the world of a race for them. Yeah, the 3-4-5 gonna make this manageable. That might even top 2, 6, 7, bottom 2. The Big Mac. Shout out to John. That will be a win for Gungnir, but not as big as one as they might have hoped when, you know, they pulled all those bombs and were able to kill all those Bree members.
Yeah, I honestly thought the bomb was going to be a lot more impactful there, but unfortunately, fortunately enough for Bree, they were able to see it coming from a mile away with their opponent going wide. But now getting the Moo Moo Meadows pick. What do you think about that? Okay, you know, it's an interesting track pick in my opinion. Very draft heavy. You can get around the pack. Not many item boxes to disrupt you. What do you think about it?
I know it's one of my many hot takes. I love this track. It sucks too, because like the other hot takes I have about tracks I really like, the rest of my clan really likes them as well. But this is the one where I say, can we try this? And they're all just like, no.
I'm the same way. I'm just like, I don't know. It's not the most eventful track in the world, but whenever you're trying to get around first and just use your drafts to your potential, you know, it's good.
I like driving this as well. I find myself having a lot of fun time trialing it and playing it online. Kind of a, you know, kind of a gauntlet of RNG online, but that shortcut in the middle just makes so much of a difference online, and being able to use it early and get an early break is basically just a ticket to a top spot for free. As Thomas getting back and then getting all the points taken. That's just rude.
That's just brutal. That's not what you want whenever you get hit out. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to do the responsible thing and try and save up money. Never mind. I'm just going to take it all away from you. And he doesn't even get the double item box. He realizes he's got to go back for the second item. He's going to try and go for that
He's
shock
too far
play.
for shock distance now.
Yeah,
he's not
very far
not
behind.
pulling it. This race is kind of over for Bree unless they were able to maintain top spots. Sorata back here with no coins in 9th place and gonna get hit by the blue as it makes its way up. That's just that's just sad.
That's
you gotta feel for the guy.
That's like that's an atypical Mario Kart play there. The blue
Gungnir
into the
at
back
8, 9,
screen.
10, 11 though.
Yeah, this is actually might be huge.
Thomas
for
in
Bree.
last, but it might actually be a good Bree race.
Oh yeah, look at all those bottom spots.
We got him in 7th probably, but let's see. It did not matter. Thomas kind of threw everything at that race there, but it did not matter. The rest of his team coming in clutch and maybe even taking back the lead. The last kind of hurts, but the top 3, 5, 6 is so many points. That's close to a plus 20 at least, if not one.
Yeah, and then at the end, the Red and his teammate even. Yeah, a little bit of tiltation maybe adding up on the side of Gungnir. So maybe the momentum slowly chipping away, but...
Absolutely not the time for that to be happening, though. Like, this is really their first bad race all war. They are only down...
Oh my god.
Only down 2 points here. Now is not the time to let the mental get to you. You have to just keep hitting at it. You know, we've seen they have proven to themselves that they are capable of winning this war.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
we're entering the halfway point here, and this is looking very ideal for Bree, you know, getting their first lead, getting a Warrior Stadium pick with a ton of top spots, burning that from the side of Gungnir, but Gungnir absolutely still in it, you know. We have definitely seen we've seen teams crack in these situations before. You know, RWS, historically the strong runner, the most dominant front runner of the online metagame, and even still, you still have to execute. You can't just pick this and get free first.
No, there's so much that can go absolutely wrong extremely fast, especially when you're going up against such top-tier talent that knows the exact same strategies as you do. That will put them in the same exact spot. So you really just have to pray and hope that no one gets triple greens and hits you out to last place, because it's an impossibility to come back on this track, especially whenever you're in these bottom spots. But right now we are seeing the chaos that I was just talking about. Airhorn Thomas able to avoid it, and now with the triple
gonna drive slow here and gonna go for a couple of Gungnir members. Not gonna be successful. Gonna throw a couple forward at Toad, and Toad avoiding all of them, and Texo avoiding the bomb.
Oh no, he gets hit by the bullet bill.
Everyone just going right around everything. Every attempt Thomas made to kill a Gungnir member, they were good attempts as well.
They were. He had the right idea, but my god, Gungnir has just been playing out of their mind. They see, and a shot comes out. It dodges Sorata
with another star. Sorata's gonna have that star in like first.
Yeah,
Sorata is set for this race.
Absolutely.
No matter what happens, okay, gonna bring it up to 4th and might have to pop this early to, avoid getting trailed there, and
this is in the
bit of a break for the top 2 there, but that Roy is a Gungnir member. So they're oh wait, no. I think there's one on each side.
There we go. Bree's still up here in second.
I may be stupid. I think I am stupid, but yeah, LMDS holding second. That bomb going off on no one up there. Not quite sure who could be in first, but that person's gone.
Oh, what? Sorata getting horned right at the line, trying to take the shortcut. Bree is going to be able to pull off top 2.
LMDS coming in clutch for his team. A lot of Gungnir behind him, but able to hold down that first. You know, Gungnir getting 2, 3, 4, still able to salvage something off of an incredible shock they used there, but LMDS just doing his job and doing it absolutely the best he possibly could. He was the last line of defense from preventing that from being a really, really good Bree race, or really good Gungnir race, rather. And he did just that, and they're going to stretch their lead a little bit thanks to his efforts.
I think that also comes with awareness of what's going on around you, and we see that a lot with the lower divs where they have no clue what's happening around them or what's even going to happen, and being able to use that air horn beautifully there and secure that first place finish. It helps them out a lot. That first place is a little bit of a cushion for what could have been an absolute disastrous race for them, but you know, I genuinely great awareness of what's going on the racetrack.
Yeah.
But now we're going to Dolphin Shoals. Give me a little bit of
Gungnir
opinions on this one.
Gungnir just using up absolutely all of their drafters here. Dolphin Shoals, as we know, been a meta staple for a very, very long time, and yet another drafter. You know, the amount of straightaways on this track and the amount of off-road terrain driving, just so good for being able to pass people. If you pull a shroom, then you're just in first.
It's
having a good coin count at the beginning.
And
you could already see how big the drafts are, but the trail's even bigger. It immediately snaps one onto Thomas, and he's going to be playing this race from the back. I don't think he minds, though. Thomas has always been one of the best baggers in the game.
Yeah, he has no problem catching back up to the front of the pack. He is genuinely such a huge talent in this one, and we're seeing Sorata, unfortunately, getting redded there. Has to watch out for the triple greens that actually turns into one single green. And now they're going to be able to grab that double item box, quad shrooms in hand, going all the way up to 6th place. Beautiful glider strat going in right behind Koryu here. We're going to go back to Thomas bagging blue in his pocket. Let's see if they're going to be able to use it. They do. So
immediately. Nose Gungnir's in first.
Yeah, no miscommunication there.
And
was able
gonna
to
immediately go up for Bill. Not quite getting the entire extension, you know, from the line, but really the best place you could use a Bill otherwise. He's going to be right back in the pack and going to be in a mid spot with a star.
Yeah, it's starts
off the eel a little early and not able to gain as much time, but if I'm Thomas, I'm chaining this, honestly.
Yeah, I would. I
don't hate that decision either.
Yeah,
and now that I see there's enough Bree in front of him that he doesn't really need to do that, so he can just kind of sit pretty in the back here, and in the event of a Bree shock, or in the event of just wanting to chain it and catch up.
Yeah, and then going right around their teammate, fortunately enough, did not star them. But
Bree's holding blue.
Well.
Bree is holding blue. That is definitely something to note. They may well have really good spots. We see at least LMDS in first.
Yeah,
every other player in the room on Waluigi, but
shock comes out. Sorata's gonna be able to dodge
here. Change that.
Oh,
absolutely a Gungnir shock. You can see just how much Sorata's taking advantage, and he gets first. Sorata gets first.
Yep, easily going to be able to grab it with the triple shrooms.
LMDS might have been able to steal second there, but a lot of top spots from Gungnir there.
Oh, yikes. It's not terrible, you know.
That's exactly what they needed. That's exactly what they needed. They were kind of letting their momentum slip away there, going from a plus 22 down to being down 10, but they're gonna be taking back the lead here, and that's kind of exactly what they need to keep themselves in it mentally.
Absolutely agree. And with that, we have a very, very interesting next track pick. We got some TM in the house, a very controversial one. A lot of people do not enjoy this track at all. So we'll see how that works out for them. And then we're going to be seeing from Sorata Hyrule Circuit. Interesting. Maybe hovering over it. They do select it. So we got TM and Hyrule Circuit. Tell me a little bit about those tracks and your opinion on them.
Hyrule Circuit's an interesting one. Yet another dominant runner that's been around for quite some time, but not really one that you see very much at low divs. You know, everyone at the top of this game knows how to play every track, but Hyrule Circuit's not really something you're seeing until you see lobbies with 12 people that know and love driving it. So,
yeah, exactly.
Something to take note of if you're looking to make your way up. You're going to be playing a lot more Hyrule Circuit the better you get at this game. Twisted Mansion, on the other hand, definitely a staple in every single division of this community.
Yeah, it's been here for years, and I think it's here to stay. An easy track to get some shrooms, go through the shortcut, and take over top spots. And, you know, it's quite interesting to see, you know, hey, you're not supposed to bag on this track, but it gives you such a great ability to get around the middle of the pack and just move up to top spots. So as we go over to Sorata here in 4th place, uses 1 green, bouncing off the walls, does not get back, throws 1 green forward. Guess what? Zai has the Sharingan, but not the best case situation there, getting ready out, and Sorata has that beautiful boomerang usage.
Sorata's just going to work on the entirety of Bree's lineup here. Gonna get one more boomerang shot at LMDS, and is gonna land it. Gonna take out the entirety of their top 3 single-handedly.
Oh my god!
Unfortunately, not quite able to drop the bomb, and will be able to switch paths and maybe get one more Bree member before getting blued, and gonna let Taye take the reins of first here as he finds his way into the pack. Surrounded by a couple of his teammates and looking to do what he can to get rid of LMDS here. The fire through the blooper, not quite gonna land, but we'll be getting a double here.
The double is the important part, especially getting single shroom. They can take the shortcut, get around a little bit of a chaos. Bomb does not land. It went wide. Don't know where that bomb was walking
LMDS
to,
able to kill out Taye there. And we're going to be looking at Bree in first once again, but as we've seen so many times this war, Gungnir just holding every single spot behind them.
Whoa!
It doesn't matter what kind of front presence can be established. LMDS wants this trail with his life, and
does not get it.
Not gonna get it just yet, and they're gonna go separate paths.
That's the French on French connection working there. That is absolutely beautiful. Love the consistency in that one.
Sorata gonna go for one final attempt at a kill here. The smart bounce.
Oh god!
Barely avoids hitting himself or one of his mates, and the back will not hit. LMDS once again coming in clutch for his team when they need it and holding down that first. That first place is so important. Even with Gungnir getting 2-3-4, that's what turns a +10 into a +20.
Yeah.
Or a -20 into a -10.
Can we just give some respect for Sorata here? Like, my god, what an absolute unit.
Yeah,
I felt like I was watching an army movie and seeing him charge into the front lines.
Yeah.
Non-stop getting targeted, thrown at, but dodged everything that came his way. Honestly, what moves? I am blown away.
Played that race to the best of his ability, and honestly, what an effort. Like, wasn't quite able to get Sorata out. Or not Sorata, wasn't quite able to get LMDS out at the end there, but did quite literally everything besides that. And that could have easily been, you know, top 3, top 4 Bree had he not did what he did at the beginning of lap 2 and just killed their entire team except for LMDS there.
Yeah, it was quite mind-blowing of how impressive his item usage was there. You do not get to see that a lot in low division. Someone taking control, taking the reins and saying, you know what, don't worry about it, team. I will take out their top spots. Me and me only, single-handedly. But we're going to Mushroom Gorge. What's your opinion on this one?
First DLC track we're seeing today, am I right?
Yeah, it's actually quite shocking.
Yeah, I'm not entirely surprised, you know. The players on these teams, like I said, with the amount of playoff and championship experience they have had, they know what works, and they're going to stick to their tried and true before they go out and do something a little funny. But that's something funny we're seeing here. Mushroom Gorge, if you have been on Twitter in the past 3 months since the release of this track, you would know all about the absolutely ridiculous things that can happen here. Everything you're seeing right now, like, I could commentate everything that's happening here to perfection, and none of it would matter.
Yeah.
The thing about Mushroom Gorge is it's 2.5 laps of nothing. The track starts at the cave lap 3.
It does. It really does. It's just absolute chaos and mayhem on lap 3. But everything else, I think it's pretty chill. You got a lot of straightaways. You got a lot of space. You don't really get hit that often if they, if they have greens or something, because there's just so much space and you can get around whatever gets thrown at you. So, I enjoy the track. It's just like you said, cave section lap 3, then that's when the mayhem ensues.
Yeah. Another track that I really, really enjoy driving, the Super Bounce strats, I was kind of scared that they're going to be incredibly toxic.
They're not that bad.
Pull off, but yeah, the track came out and they're actually super fun to do. The gap jump, satisfying, rewarding, and not that difficult. That's a rough trail, but who knows?
Yeah.
It could have been mattering. Only stealing a coin isn't the most ideal, but gonna be getting triple shrooms here, and that could be all he needs. If the entire pack in front of him just dies like that, then all he needs to do is take gap jump and he wins.
Yeah, that's all he's got to do.
A couple of
Let's see
Bree in
if they're
front of
gonna
him,
be able to do
but neither of them have shrooms, and
Beautiful
you see what I mean?
gap jump. First place finish for Sorata. This person putting their team on their back. Absolutely playing out of their mind.
64 tracks in this game. That trail ends your race. But we are playing on Mushroom Gorge right now, and that is a +10 for Gungnir.
That is beautiful. Gungnir, man. I am so absolutely impressed with them being the underdogs going into this competition. 20,000 point difference in terms of the voting. People had all of their sights set on to Bree, but right now Gungnir's saying, don't count us out just yet. We are here to compete, and we are here to take out the top dogs.
Yeah, and I mean, more power to them for the effort that they have put in, and leading this team this late on, okay, there it updated. With a score difference of 26, 3 races to play, it is far from over. Yeah, absolutely far from over, but Gungnir has been setting themselves up in a really good position to win this. They've had momentum basically the entire war.
Yeah,
and
honestly,
looking to hold on to that through the last GP.
Yeah, from the very first race, we were talking about it. Did that +8 just give them the momentum they needed, the positive attitude to move their lead even farther beyond, never counting themselves out just yet. +26 for the side of Gungnir. Let's see if they're going to be able to hold on to this, because you know what? TikTok can cause a little bit of a goofiness, might I say, in those top spot finishes, because in these moments when you're trying to take these no item shortcuts, that you can get bumped off. You cannot just stick in the right path sometimes. But right now we are seeing Gungnir in these top spots, top 2. But right behind him, we see a member of Bree. That's going to be Thomas in 3rd.
Sorata, for what feels like the 100th time this war, just doing everything in his power to get a Bree member out of here, and sacrificing a little bit of his driving to try and get get the front presence to be entirely of Gungnir, but Thomas just evading literally everything thrown at him. The green will not connect, maybe hit the pendulum on one of their screens, but Thomas lives to see another day until the boomerang comes in.
Yeah, 1 boomerang, 2 boomerang, doesn't land on either. Blue shell is out.
That trail from Thomas is huge, and the Bree blue shell, Thomas now with double reds in 1st. The rest of his team, while they may not have been in the front with him, have definitely been instrumental in Thomas having the run that he has right now. A little bit of a break. Gungnir rather, still in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my god, oh no! Oh no!
Maybe not as nice as we had hoped for them, but the rest of Bree's gonna have to wake up. Thomas has been doing literally everything. Possibly the best player in the sport so far. Falling off there is not ideal either. Not entirely sure what that was, but that's
gonna just red was coming for him.
Your top 3. The blue comes out. It's only gonna hit one of them though. That's not gonna stop 5 Gungnir members from coming off here. Starlo able to steal first.
Oh, we saw some Bree members as well. Oh, they salvaged it. That's actually huge.
A salvage from Bree.
I told you, TikTok has some goofiness to it that's going to allow Bree to catch up at the very last second. Don't know what happens, but that 3rd lap, you just have such a huge ability to shake up the standings in the very last section. Beautiful salvage there by Bree, but they are running out of time for salvaging. They need an absolute change-up of a race.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, you know. If I'm Gungnir, I'm not actually feeling the worst about that. Like, yeah, they did just cut into our lead, but we're still up by almost 20. If we just hold on and play safe, consistent, and good Mario Kart, we're gonna be okay. We only have to get through 2 more races.
Absolutely.
That's my mindset if I'm in their spot right now, and maybe straying away from what they know. Haven't really seen much Chocolate Mountain at all online. And maybe a member of their team disagreeing with the idea.
I'm talking about basic tracks. I think Choco Mountain's like it's not basic, but it's one of those tracks where it's just very straightforward. You know, there's not a lot to it, but it's probably one of my least favorite DLC tracks to go. But we're going to Mount Wario, a very, very competitive map, and it's
That
going to be quite interesting.
that Mushroom Gorge pick kind of opened the floodgates for the DLC to make its way into this race. I was thinking on Twisted Mention, am I watching a War VOD from 2021? But starting to see them come out, starting to see them getting voted, starting to see them being played, and that's always nice to see different and new things. A great start for the race from Gungnir. Damn, gonna make his way into first. Not 100% sure if that green connected as Starlo still up here, but Damn definitely in first as a result of that shroom. Sorata having a little bit of trouble staying in the very, very front with only having 2 coins, and not 100% sure what happened to Damn, but
Yeah.
Starlo with a pretty solid break in first now.
Beautiful, beautiful moves here. Let's see if Bree's going to be able to keep on to this. Airhorn in second. But guess what? You know what? Gonna have the red trailing off to not go for the double. That's the interesting part too. The item choosing, like when to go for the single, when to go for the double, when is it worth it? That's something that high division players know best. When they say, okay, I know I need to do this here, and then I'm going to wait for my opportunity to grab the double here and try and take out first place. But guess what? Only has an air horn in hand. Let's see, going into this third lap,
He's gonna have to try and just
take out.
Okay, gonna go for another set of doubles here, and only having 6 coins, I definitely agree with that move. Gonna be able to get up to almost, if not 10. Yeah, getting his 10th coin right there, and if he's attempting to simply outline Starlo,
no!
missing that double's vital.
There's the Waluigi skinniness coming in clutch there. We got the Bree right behind him. Do they know? It hits. It lands. Sorata, though, got to be able to grab that double item box going to this final
Falling
section.
off,
Falls
the shock. That's a shock.
Let's go. We got the shock from GE coming in hot. Gonna have the double
red. Gonna come out. It's gonna get Bree out of first, and Sorata and Toad.
Oh,
no! And it's not gonna be a top 2.
What an absolute mishap. Everything was working for him, but Bree's going to be able to grab that 2-3, and then Sorata gets fourth.
What looked like a perfect shock for Gungnir is just going to come down to a little bit of a line failure. That could have easily been a top 2. That could have been a massive winning race, and now Bree has just found their opening. They just need a slight win.
That was the most unfortunate thing that could have ever happened.
A super even race there is the last thing that either of these teams wanted, really. But
oh my god. Oh my god. We got the scores updating right now. Let's see. Where are we at?
It will be 14 points in the favor
the last track.
Gungnir. That will be a +2 for Bree. Very, very possible to see some race 12 drama here. Will that
coming down to the wire on what they want to pick. Don't know where they want to go. What are they going to choose? Sunshine Airport is the decision. Toad Harbor and one Choco Mountain pick. Where are we going?
Will that lines error, that driving error from Sorata be the difference maker in this war? Sunshine Airport's going to be the place to find out. Is one of these teams going to fly away with a Game 1 win?
Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. Sunshine Airport, one of those tracks that I have come to not enjoy as much anymore. I thought it was fun at first, but now it's just, once you get that front running going, it is just such a battle. It is literally climbing Mount Everest trying to get up to those top spots.
And that could mean either a really good thing or a really bad thing for both of these teams. If it becomes a battle and one of these teams wins that battle, it could end up being a huge race. And a huge race is kind of what Bree needs. Plus 16 is a very good race, but it's not, the tall order of getting like 30 points in one race. This is
doable.
This is very possible. It's not like the casters say, "Oh, it's mathematically possible" when a team is down 38 after 11. Like, guys, it's like, guys, it's not going to happen. But this right here, Gungnir still primed to win this, but with the amount of Bree in the front right now,
this is not looking good.
And the horns from Starlo making its way onto Sorata.
Oh, this is going to be quite interesting.
Big things could be happening.
Second. Yeah, 2-3 right now for the side
Gungnir holding down first, but only first. Kind of a little bit of a switch up from what we've been seeing the entire war of, Bree in first and the entirety of Gungnir behind them, but
The nerves are adding up, I feel
bit-
like. Gungnir is
kind of
trying to
opposite
keep
thing
their
here.
head on.
the nerves not affecting Toad whatsoever. He's just building his lead. Thomas may have 10 coins, but Toad driving his heart out, like his time
Absolutely.
trialing. Not quite sure what he has for defense, but Thomas wants this red to connect so badly. Gonna wait until after the set and see what he pulls here. It's going to be a single shroom.
That's not terrible. He is catching up.
That could be
slowly but
big. He
surely.
throws this red, he takes cut.
Oh no, the red went
Opts
up
to
and
go into the
along.
plane, and we'll get another red. Toad with more defense, though.
Yeah, I do not know if Thomas is going to be able to pull this one out. Final section, Glider is coming out, going to be able to grab that double item box. Will he get? He
Gungnir
does
holding on to
get what he
blue.
needs.
Thomas pulling double reds.
Oh,
The bomb
let's
coming up but not
go.
hitting anyone. Is that going to connect? That's going to connect. That's going to be Bree top 2 at least.
Oh god, they run into the ball. Oh no, it's
That
top
might have been
2.
enough. That might have been enough. I'm pretty sure that was top 3 Bree. I'm pretty sure that was top 3 Bree. A
Oh,
top
they
3,
did it.
5. That's enough. That's
Oh
enough.
my god.
Wow.
What an upset! Oh no! What a move! What a beautiful! You know what? It was almost a Sorata double way here with them running into the box. I was half expecting him to slam into a wall, but congratulations for the first game of the day winner for Bree here. We're gonna get the scores before I should say anything, but yeah, there we
Wow.
go. What
All
a
the-
comeback!
All the fighting that Gungnir did to keep themselves in this war, and what an effort by them. What an incredible war. And all it came down to, Thomas doesn't pull double reds at the end there, Gungnir wins this war. Gungnir wins this war if Thomas doesn't pull double reds at the very last box of the race. And that's the kind of things that your war and maybe even your season comes down to. Gungnir definitely still not out of this. With 2 matches to play still,
Not out of it at all. They played extremely well. We cannot discredit them.
absolutely. You cannot discredit the effort that was.
Yeah, but it was just so unfortunate. I feel like that Mount Wario play, it got under them. It messed with their nerves. They knew, especially Sorata, man, after seeing how well they played the entire time, after messing up that final moment, I bet that did not sit well with them going into that final race at all. You didn't see Sorata at all, barely in that race. It was Thomas and the Toad Show the entire time. So, genuinely, though, Gungnir did an amazing job. They really competed well. But guess what? Bree's veteran status and just said, we know what we want to accomplish here, and was able to do it.
What a war, Pidgey.
It really was. That was insane.
That was
was my ball.
the lead changes the entire time. The race 12 comeback, the underdog almost getting it done, but the reigning champion pulling through. That was a sight to behold. That is why we play Mario Kart, to witness wars like that. That was one for the ages. That was one of the best wars I've ever seen.
It really was. You don't
Incredible
get better
stuff
than
from
that.
both teams. It does not get better than that.
It really doesn't.
Bree pulling through thanks to those double reds at the final set.
Yeah, I was half expecting another red and a mushroom and just calling it a day, but thankfully enough, the game was on Thomas's side, and he was
The
able to
Belgian
scrap that
copy.
one away. Yeah, you're not lying about that one at all.
Yeah.
He's had some really good luck on his side, especially the quadruple greens that we saw previously, and just being able to run through the mid pack and carry this team on their back. Sorata and Thomas were definitely 2 rivals that are going to run it back in this next game. But with Gungnir losing such what you can consider should have been a free win with a 20-point lead going in the 9th race, I don't know if that's going to take a toll on them, or will they be able to shrug it off and just go into the next race completely fine?
Bree, of all teams we know, is so dominant in the best of 3 format. They know how to make adjustments. They know how to win when it matters most. And having that first point already is so huge. Even if they falter in game 2, then they're going to know what they need to do in game 3 if it even does come to that. But before that, though, we need a break. We need a break. The players need a break. And going to be about 5 more minutes until the room for match 2 opens up. So take a breather, everyone. We'll see y'all then. Well, I definitely needed a breather there.
I did too, but well, we are back for the second round, the second game of semifinals with Gungnir and Bree. Can we even predict what could possibly happen with this next game? I know I can't after what just happened with the previous one,
Yeah,
but like all I can say, Thomas and Sorata, they're going to be neck and neck battling it out against each other. I cannot wait for
yeah.
this one.
Bree pulling out a win for the ages in match one there. Coming back from -16 on the last race, maybe thanks to a bit of a driving error from Sorata, but nevertheless, what might have happened to the other team, Bree taking full advantage and getting almost a +30 on the final race to send this into match two with a 1-0 lead. And I hate to say this now, but I have to be a Bree fan for this because if it goes to match three, I've got work at 4. I can't be here for that. I can't commentate. So
I
part
also
of me
have to.
hopes, for excitement purposes, for the sake of the chat, I hope it goes to 3. But if it's a 2-0, then I get to leave and not feel bad that I didn't get to finish this out. So there's
I
that
do
for
have to
me.
go down to the arena, commentate Valorant right after this. So I do hope that Bree takes it, but that's just for the sake of both of us trying to get to work on time. But I'm
Right.
still curious if GE will be able to pull
Yeah.
this one away because they were playing well. They were playing extremely well. Like,
You
genuinely, you could not tell the difference between these two teams until it came down to those crucial moments where Bree was able to overtake
yeah.
Gungnir and just win it all.
Yeah. The question for this war, the entire question that I think determines who wins this war is how much did what just happened, affect Gungnir's mental? I think if they're going to be able to uh, shrug off what happened, bounce back, and come back just as strong as they did, I think they've got a good chance at bringing this to 3. But if they're going to sit there and let all of that kind of defeat them, then this is Breeze to lose. That's how I see it.
I absolutely agree with you. I don't think it comes down more to mentality and momentum than it does right now. And a lot of people can say, yeah, they can shrug it off, they can do it. But when you lose in a fashion like that, where it's just such a nail biter, the adrenaline, the emotions, the absolute strenuous nature of being this close and playing that consistently does add up. It literally takes a toll on yourself. And especially when you're playing at the level of these competitors, it's literally a totally different mindset where you can just say, okay, can I do the same thing that I did before, just better, so that we don't make the same mistake, so we don't lose these clutch situations. I don't know if Gungnir is going to be able to do it, but I believe that maybe they will. But it really, I think when it comes like to you talking about it, Bree having that championship lineup, I think that's what's going to make them take the cake.
Yeah, I mean, we saw their mental fortitude, their playoff experience, and the fact that they've won so much in their existence since becoming a team from the remnants of French teams of past. They've been doing what they just did for, I want to say, a year now. I think they've been around for about a year, and they've been doing it ever since they first stepped onto the scene. And just, they keep manufacturing moments like that. And that's why they're at the top. That's why they've been, the team to beat here. That's not to say they have not been beat. We saw the incredible finals between them and RK a couple seasons ago, where RK, after 35 races, it came down to even and they pulled it out. But
yeah, exactly. So it's not impossible. That's what I was saying.
It's absolutely not.
There's a possibility, but like I said, with something like this, where it's such a close battle, it's like, will they be able to get those negative emotions out of their body and just say, okay, I can do this, but again, or will they just be able, or are they just going to falter to their own emotions? Because it's truly a huge thing, especially in these semifinals type matchups, where you got to just think, man, it was this close. Will I be able to perform at the same level as I did before?
Yeah, and as our lovely stream host Dylan saying in the chat, if anyone is in the know about other MKU playoffs results that are happening across the community right now, because this D1 semifinal is far from the only thing we have happening right now. We've got 20 divs of playoffs, each playing 2 semifinals right now. There's plenty of things to be reported and be known, and we'd like to shed some light on a couple of those. One I'm probably the most interested in is the other side of D1 semifinals. I know it's between HD and XIV. If anyone might have a bit of information on that, we'd love to know who is front running that one.
I would love to know what's going on with those matches as well, but we are already off with the first race. We're going to the slidiest of all slides. You'd think it's a water park, but it's Piranha Plant Slide.
Right, and shout out to Nick Blue Orange. Thank you for filling us in a little bit. For Division 2, we have ZE leading 5D 1-0, and we have World Friend leading Ron Ron's 1-0. So,
all right,
good to see for those two teams down there. And as for the other side of the D1 bracket, XIV did take the first war over High Definition.
Well, I'm actually quite shocked by that. When I was first reading that, I thought HD got it, and I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Oh, XIV coming out on top right now.
Yeah. As for this war, on the other hand, a lot of mixed front presence up here. Not way too early to really determine anything that could be happening this race. Yeah, Thomas almost sniping his mate there, and getting the green on the Gilgamesh, that is huge. If that did connect.
Oh!
He's smart bouncing himself immediately after. Gonna neutralize that.
I'm glad that still happens in D1, that they don't realize, hey, yeah, this can bounce right back in my face. That's a good feeling there. But we're seeing, oh, what a beautiful move, Sorata. Item usage, beautiful, moving all the way up to third place.
Everyone falters once. Falters once.
Yeah, I just like, you got to call it out when it happens. It's always quite comical when the smart bounce happens. It's a Tom and Jerry type moment, It's
for
so
sure. Both our POVs in very good spots right now. A star and triple reds for Thomas. A little low on coin count, but I don't really think he cares. Only behind GE here.
Oh, and grabs the triple shrooms for the shortcut.
Yeah, gonna get Gilgamesh right before the shortcut, and gonna get one more on the glider, I think. So, besides Sorata up here in first, not looking amazing for GE. I do believe they're holding on to top 2, and Sorata having 2 shrooms, 10 coins. Gonna get one of them ghosted, but it doesn't really matter. Getting defense is huge there.
Oh, yeah.
This is his race to lose. The blue coming out, he's gonna dodge that anyways. So long as there's not one more ghost, and there is
no
not.
Ghost.
Blue dodge for Sorata, and top 2 for Gungnir for the time being. Mate behind him gonna have to be careful not to hit one of the traps being laid out here, but I think they're smarter than to kill themselves like that. Will be his mate streaming past him, and that'll be a top 2 for Gungnir.
That's actually
so far really looking at as
a wall of brie.
Maybe
just
not
showing up.
Maybe not the sunshine and rainbows we thought it was. Holding on, I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and winning that race by a little bit. The top 2 obviously huge for Gungnir, but 8, 9, bottom 2 is going to be, like, I want to say a +4 in the favor of Bree. +4 or +2.
Let's see, getting the scores rounded up right now. We got the +4 there. You got it exactly right. When we're going to, it's still lead. It's still lead, so it's something.
I really like the Warrior Stadium pick for these spots specifically, because...
Oh, yeah.
Good for top 2, of course, as we all know, but if the bottom spots are able to get through the Great Wall of Bree, as you said, with that coin advantage, make sure the top 2 takes the row of 4 coins at the front there, and able to just make their way up the front by virtue of being faster, this could end up being really good for them. A Gungnir member seems to disagree, or just a bit of a miscommunication, but either way, it's going to be that or Twisted Mansion once again. Going back to the meta staples that all 12 of these players in this room just know so well.
Yeah, RWS, the classic, the runner, the map that you do not want to get a hit out on the third lap. Because guess what? There's no shortcuts that you can really use to get yourself back up there. You got to just pray for 10 coins and work your way through the mid pack. And the mid pack is always hectic. There's not a lot of space. So you got to be careful, especially going through these first few turns. It is just nonstop mayhem. As we see already, Sorata getting hit, moving all the way down to 11th place right out of the gate.
Getting the early coins and maybe not in too terrible of a position, as we know. Bottom four always able to pull the items that make the difference in races like this. But as for Thomas, on the other hand, I'd almost rather be Sorata right now, being in the back, just kind of keeping to yourself and playing the race from behind rather than being stuck in the middle of the pack. It will be all Bree in front of him, so
yeah,
a comfortable top 2-4 for the moment, but they're going to need to figure something out with, you know, spacing. A Gungnir member right there.
Oh.
That horn is not going to do anything. Sorata's unfortunately going to trail one of his mates. Thomas will make his way into first with 9 coins in his shroom. The blue is coming out, and Thomas is going to dodge that, barring a ghost.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful items here.
It doesn't matter, though. Bree member behind him horns it anyways, and Thomas is going to get to hold on to this shroom for either the cut right now or maybe take, or maybe just keep it in case of another one. Gonna take the cut right now.
Really?
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I do agree with that. I think where they are in the race right now, spacing is going to be super important. And if this is a Bree top 4 like it looks to be, spacing is of the utmost importance.
I totally agree with you. Having a little bit of spacing with that first place, Sorata almost runs into those triple bananas.
Even if it is a clear my throat. But even if it is a Gungnir second, you know, being farther ahead of that Gungnir member in second is also a good thing. I think no matter who's immediately
Sorata
behind Thomas, it's going to be a good idea to room there.
Yeah, no, Sorata missing every single air or fire flower in existence, but has the triple shrooms. Well, but
goes
guess
for
what?
a trail, but LMDS with a horn and not quite able to catch up. That's at least a 1-3-4. Not quite sure. Top 4. Yep.
Oh, beautiful, Bree. But you know, you got last
9-12.
place.
Yeah, 9-12 will turn that from what could have been an absolutely incredible plus 30 into still a very respectable plus 20. I don't think either of these teams would be complaining about a plus 20 at any point in the war, but
Yeah,
always nice to get those couple extra spots, you know?
Sorata unfortunately did not get the items they needed, did not utilize the fire flower, was not able to hit anybody with every single thing they had. They were literally checking out everything under the sun, trying to take out any sort of members they can at the last possible second. But we're going to be seeing Trainbow and Hyrule one more time. A little bit of iconic maps coming out for this next race.
Yeah. Once again, things we did see last war. Hyrule was not actually played, but definitely picked a number of times. Trainbow we actually did get to see take advantage of, and this time it's going to be Hyrule's time to shine. I like this. I'm a Hyrule enjoyer. I think most people that once they get good at Hyrule, they become Hyrule enjoyers. I'm definitely one of those people.
I enjoyed a lot. I think like, you know, graphically beautiful, you know, for the first DLC tracks to ever exist, but at the same time, sometimes it's just a brutal, relentless track, especially on the final section, getting bumped out, trying to control your drifts. I mean, even then, you know, like, we saw even the likes of Vantox, who was, you know, D1 player, getting absolutely carted on the final turn and running into a wall. It's pretty ridiculous of how many things that can go wrong on Hyrule, but it's still a really fun track. I mean, like, you can't not enjoy it.
Yeah, it does not matter. Sometimes, depending on what track you're playing, it does not matter how good you are at the game. What?
Oh, a double dodgerino coming out from Thomas.
The top two, Starlo and Thomas, both barely avoiding both of those bombs. I'm just trying to talk about the track, man. Gungnir, what are you doing?
Yeah,
pulling every bomb and
you're seeing the desperation.
Bree is here. Bree is here. If it wasn't previously announced to the scene, Bree is here. Does not matter that Starlo's going to be getting blued here. The shock is going to come out and likely, I don't know. It will get the top two of Bree before second set, which is like the ideal shock spot, but it will dodge a Gungnir member. Sorata up here in fourth with a horn, gonna look to possibly get up here, and Horn, one of the two members, they will stay just barely ahead though, as a result of getting super good nisks.
Not even close enough just yet with the air horn. Misses.
Barely misses, and yeah, gonna have to use that if he wants to take that cut there. Fire's such a good item in this spot.
Absolutely.
I think Thomas is going to get around it. He is, but will eventually go down as a second blue comes out after the second boxes.
That is huge for Bree. There's a lot of time, but let's see what they're going to be able to do with it. Banana in hand for Thomas. Will they be able to scrap anything out? We're seeing a lot of top spots for Gungnir here, but look at that beautiful move.
Beautiful
Lands the banana snipe, and he's going to move all the way up to third place. Bree in second. What the and
2, 3, 4,
5.
That's Gungnir in first, but the 2, 3, 4, 5 is honestly all they need. That's more than enough of a win of a race if you're Bree to be comfortable leaving this GP1 to be up this much already. They are saying, all right, that was cute. We had a good first war, but we are going to the finals.
Yeah,
that's the statement. That is the statement that is being made right now, and they are making it loud and clear.
I was about to say that same thing. This is a totally different team than we saw in the first round. They are playing so much more consistently, sticking together, and not killing each other. It is quite insane how much of a difference of momentum that this game has had. And we're seeing Gungnir freaking out. They're not landing their items. They're not communicating as well as they did in the first round. They are just not playing as good as they did. The item management for Gungnir is not even as close to consistent as it was in the very first round. It's quite insane to see the difference.
I'll tell you what, Pidgey, if there's anything I did learn from the first war, it's that Gungnir is absolutely not out of this. You know, they may not be playing nearly as well as they did in the first war, but they were also at this point in the first war, mind you. They were down a considerable amount early. They made it close. The lead kept changing, and at this point, last time it was Gungnir in front, but if they can flip that switch back up that has kind of been off since the start of this war, then we could very well be seeing a repeat of match 1 here. That, I think, would be, you know, ideal for the viewership, but
yeah. Plus 32.
Bree
really
getting yet
anything.
another track pick in Dolphin Shoals is just not helping their case.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Reading my mind right off the bat. The plus 32 really isn't anything to really sweat about at the moment. Only the 4th race. There's so much time to come back on. But yeah, Dolphin Shoals going in the favor of Bree. You just gotta hope that you can scrap something out and be able to outshock the competition if that's what you're going to be aiming for. If not, hoping that the items are going to be in your favor.
I don't hate just suiciding for shock at this point. We do see 2 members, probably one of each team, already back there going for it, and if I'm them, then I'm like, yeah, okay, of course they're doing that. Not 100% sure who that might be. Sorata in first, and seeing from the preview, Thomas in 7th at the moment.
Oh, Blue Shell is out, but Sorata with the mushroom in hand doesn't have a thing to worry about other than a spooky ghost coming their way. There was Ink on the screen, but was able to time it beautifully. The veteran status.
Yeah, you gotta keep in mind, blue dodges are automatic for every player in this division. You know, bit of a rough timing for those not as experienced. I know when I started, I was failing blue dodges all the time because I was so used to. You had to shroom much earlier to dodge the blue in MKU. I did not know that when I first picked up this game adjusting. It took me a while to get comfortable with blue dodging, but something that every player in this div is going to be very, very familiar with. You give them a shroom and they're going to be doing it. The shock? Dodging, I think, an equal amount of both teams. A bit more Gungnir than Bree in front of Thomas immediately here, but we did see like 4 different people dodge.
It was a unideal situation for that shot. Going to this final section, we got Sorata grabbing that double item box. We got a very good loadout going into this next section with Bree in front of them.
A lot of Bree in front of him. If that's Bree in first, then they're in a great spot right now. It will be whoever was in third, kind of falling out a little bit. I think Thomas used motion there.
Oh, and he's going to be able to grab that 4th place finish.
LMDS up there as well. That will be Gungnir.
Oh my god.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's a bottom 4 for Gungnir.
Oh.
Once again, Bree.
Oh.
every race this war so far has just been a bigger and bigger statement that, hey, we're still the top dog of this division, and we are going to finals, and we want to win those finals. You know,
I just, it's quite mind-blowing. It is such a different team than what we just saw from
Yeah.
the previous matchup.
They're
It is
now
not
leading-
even a joke.
now leading by 50 after 1 GP.
Yeah,
That is...
we didn't even see the number 5 the entire time in the previous round, but now
We didn't even see a 4.
yeah, we really didn't. Not even 32. It was literally like max 20 difference between these two teams. But now Bree running away with it. Still a lot of time. We still can't count
For sure,
out.
for sure.
Bree has gotten a crap ton of track picks to add it on top. We're going to Bone Dry Dunes. So
Yeah, if there's one
you
thing
know,
that if there's one thing that there's been absolutely no shortage of so far in this set, best of 3, it has been big races. We've been seeing plus 20s, plus 15s, or not 15s, excuse the numbers, but like plus 16s or higher, plus 20s, even close to plus 30s. We've been seeing them fly out from both sides for almost the entire war. We've been seeing fireworks for this entire time, and all it really is going to take is Gungnir to have 2 of those massive races swing their way in a row, and they're going to be right back in this, but it's going to be a matter of getting those, and with this much Bree in the back, they're in a pretty solid spot to make that happen. Tom is opting to go wide here. Not really something you see a lot of players do, is you see the entire rest of the pack on that anti-grav path. Sorata will lose first to that trail. Those double greens are going to not quite connect on Bree's top 5. Bree has top 5.
Not good. Oh god.
Bree has top 5. Toad getting trailed out there as well.
The desperation is showing from the side of Gungnir and is not great to see, but we still got a lot of time
Thomas
left.
is going to throw blue? Gungnir Shark is going to come out, so even if
That's
someone...
insane.
He probably threw that thinking, oh, someone up there has a horn or a shroom, they're going to dodge that, but...
Let's see.
No,
when
that's
they
just
going
gonna
to do
hit.
this.
I don't know if Gungnir somehow got into first, but they did. They have shock. Bree saw that shock. Thomas absolutely saw that shock when he was building up, and he's gonna dodge it and have a golden here. Golden's...
I think it's gonna be pretty
Golden's
ideal.
okay on this track. Not really that much off-road to power through with it, but now Thomas has to navigate the entire team here, and that fire is going to immediately put an end to that attempt. The trail as well is just going to put Gungnir in top 3. A lot of Bree back here for the moment.
Let's see if
They're going to have to hold on to that top 3, though. If enough Bree members pull shrooms and maybe a couple of the front presence either fails driving or gets hit out, then this is immediately back to being a Bree race, but...
Yeah, let's see. Triple
Sorata
Sorata and a star.
passing the entire team there, and...
Oh, another Gungnir in front of them. Let's see who.
That's a
and
great
what.
Gungnir race. That is a great Gungnir race.
Oh,
That's what they needed.
Top
That is
4,
exactly what they
6.
needed. That's a plus. That's the plus 30 we've been talking about.
Yeah,
That's the kind of races they needed. The Bree bottom 3, the Gungnir top 4, and with one flip of the switch, like I said, all you need is 2 huge races, and you're right back in this. And even with just one, this is a much more manageable war now than it was 2 minutes ago.
And if they get the track that they want, it'll be even more manageable than it was before. But what a great Bone Dry has been literally the game changer of these races. I think both times have switched the momentum for both rounds. So going to this next one, we got DKJ and Trainbow Road. So
Coming out once again. Didn't quite get picked the last couple of times we've seen it, but if there was ever a time that the team needed it, it was right now. And not quite gonna happen. Gungnir thankfully getting a track pick to go their way for once this war. That will in fact be a plus 32, and that will put Bree's lead down to 18. And one more good race from Gungnir on their own track pick, and they could potentially be in the driver's seat again.
Absolutely. This is going to be quite an interesting battle. It's getting a little bit spicy. We cannot count out Gungnir at any given point because they have earned their spot to be here. They know what they have to do, and they want to move forward and say, you know what, just because... Oh, beautiful use of the assisted driving there was able to pull it out in the very last second. What do you feel about that strategy? Do you think that's
smart steering
kind
on
of,
the,
yeah, it's smart steering to save
the super
yourself
bounce?
from obviously going to lose that super bounce?
I'm terrible at it. I will say that much. Like, I can activate smart steering and save myself if I have the reaction time in that moment that I'm like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. But recovering from it is the thing that I find so difficult. Like, the thing I have the most difficulty with is turning the smart steering off, actually. Because, like, turning it on while you're in midair, you still have all that momentum, is not really a thing you need to worry about. But you can't lose that much time when you're turning it off. Otherwise, you're just going to get passed, trailed, and your race could be in even worse of a spot than had you just accepted failing the smart steering. You know,
Agreed.
it not being an issue for the actual good players here, not me.
I do agree with you. Do you like the strategy though? Do you like the fact that you can do that? Because that was a whole topic for a while on Twitter, where a lot of the community was talking about if this was acceptable or not.
The big thing I saw with smart steering was, you know, when the DLC came in, when there were a couple of changes being made game-wide, not even just the DLC, they changed the way smart steering worked, and people were like, oh, you can just ride the wall and charge SMTs. This is going to ruin the meta. We haven't seen it.
Yeah, we haven't seen that happen.
I knew it was an overreaction, but, like, the one thing I have seen that, like, okay, smart steering is a problem. Smart steering has not been a problem. Sorata clipping something that happened.
I didn't even see
not
what he
100%
saw,
sure what... I didn't see what he saw, but maybe in between races he'll get to show us if he wants to show, if he wants to turn on screen share and show Gungnir what happened. But
right now, going into this final section of
Sorata gets his monthly blooper pull here and is gonna almost get bumped off the glider. Triple reds, such a good pull here. Unfortunately, it's only Gungnir in front of him, and that blue is gonna end his race. That's a last for Sorata. That bill's gonna catch up, and that's rough if you're Gungnir.
Yeah, the blue shell on that, the hitbox on that turn happened to me a million times. Bree with the top 3,
just as
5.
Just as quickly as Gungnir looked like they had momentum back, Bree immediately responds with a top 3-5. That's not going to quite get the lead back to where it was. It'll still be probably about like a high 30s, low 40s. Not low 40s, but like high 30s-ish.
It's going to be quite interesting if Bree's going to be able to continue this. Again, very consistent racing, going back to what we've been seeing in the past few races, just sticking together and being able to communicate and say, what do we need to do to get as many people in the best spots possible? So going to this next race, I'm going to be quite interested to see what and where we're going to be going. We got another Trainbow out here in Mount Wario,
and
but we
third time is the charm for Trainbow. Third time is the charm. We've seen it picked. I think that was the third time. It was either third or fourth, but we are finally going to get to see it in action once again. Last time proved to be a very solid pick for Gungnir. It was a relatively even race, but they definitely did what they had to do on this, and they're going to try and do just that again, but hopefully get an even more ideal result this time.
Yeah, with Trainbow,
you know, with a deficit of 36 that they have to face, they need just about anything they can get, and
I think Trainbow's the right pick here.
Thomas just gonna forfeit first here and maybe look to get into the pack and trail a Gungnir member that's looking to make a bid towards the front spots, but just gonna kind of drop here, go for coins. Nana's gonna go somewhere. Didn't quite see what happened to it, but Thomas in a pretty solid spot at the moment. Gonna get the red on Toad. It's gonna connect, and that's gonna be top 2, 4. Can't quite tell who it is. That's a top. Yeah, that is Koryu, and so many greens flying around right now, and not really anyone getting hit by him. That will be a trail onto hopefully that Gungnir member if you're Thomas, and a top 3 Bree just gonna get rid of that.
Top 4 Bree. Oh no, this is not what you want to see going into this final section of Trainbow Road.
Sorata once again has to do the thing he's been doing this entire war and just kill the entire team on his own.
No.
Thomas with that boomerang is just doing so much work. It does not matter. He can just drive slow, let his 2 teammates with the actual fast lines get up there, because you can't pass Thomas if you're on Gungnir. Gonna go for one more back, but it will hit a red instead of a Gungnir member, but Bree doesn't care. A top 3 is absolutely more than enough. Even if they have bad bottom spots, winning a race is so big, and
was that top 4?
It was a
That's
top
a
4. It was a top 4, 8, 9. That was a bottom 3 Gungnir.
Oh, Jesus
That's
Christ.
another almost plus 30.
Oh, God. Relax, Bree. That is actually insane.
They
that
woke
were-
up.
They, were
They
able
woke
to
up.
do that. They did. They did. They said, you know what? This is not the team that we are. In the previous round, we had to just get the rush shaken off, get woken up, and say, you know what? We cannot have a game be this close again. We got the Mount Wario pick. We've got an extremely huge deficit for
It no
the
longer
likes
matters.
of for Gungnir. 64 points going into the 9th race.
Yeah, it no longer matters. Trainbow, I think, was absolutely the best possible thing Gungnir could have picked there, and Bree just took it and ran with it. There was not even really a point in that race where it felt like Gungnir had a chance to do with that track what they wanted to do. You know,
Yeah.
you had a couple in the front there, but there was always a Bree Remember right next to them, ready to kill them, and they did just that, landing a top 4, and not quite going to get their. They are going to get their track pick.
Oh no! Oh, that's brutal. This is not going to be ideal. I mean, Mount Wario just strong running, strong front presence. If you're not able to grab that shock,
The one thing you can hope for if you're Gungnir is just pray that you don't have the flashbacks of what happened here in the first war. This is kind of this race right here. The driving error from Sorata is kind of what lost Gungnir that war. So you'd have to hope that if you're them, you're just gonna have to shrug that off and play the track one more time because they played it so well last time. Almost got a really good race to put War 1 away, but
we'll see if Sorata is going to be able to pull something out here and carry their team on their back. But right now, Thomas in 9th place. Quadruple Shrooms going to be able to land those beautiful driving lines as we've been seeing all day long. Bumps the side a little bit and gets thrown a hit by the boomerang. Single mushroom in hand, avoids the red back there by Dayum. Let's see if Thomas is going to be able to keep his consistency up here. With a mushroom and triple shrooms, you do not want to be around him once he goes through this shortcut.
Gonna have to be careful with these triple greens. Gonna immediately just pop all of them because yeah, it is Gungnir. It is the Gungnir show in top 2 at the moment, but it won't be if Thomas has anything to say about it. It won't be. The tree has something to say about Thomas though, and Gungnir's
Someone
top 2
check
is
if
gonna,
that tree is getting paid by Gungnir.
yeah, their top 2 is gonna look to see another day and possibly even be more than that right now. Sorata
what are you
having
doing?
yet another driving error in section 3 on Mount Wario, one of the hardest sections to drive, and Thomas with a star in 5th with the pack. There's no way there's not, right?
Yeah, there's no way he's gonna be able to dodge this.
Sorata in last, only with a golden, but
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not in play. Not gonna be able to get the dodge out. Triple greens in hand, gets them
And they're gonna get
ghosted away. That is not huge, but still, with that 3rd place fit, Bree's gonna get bombed at the line, but Tom is gonna be able to grab that.
The bomb, unfortunately, not gonna matter because it was all Bree behind him.
Okay.
That's gonna be the top 2-5, bottom 3, top 2-5, the bare minimum for just winning a race, as we know, and just gonna barely be in their favor. That's not what you need if you're Gungnir.
The bottom 3 is
2
always
GPs
brutal.
down 62 points. You need you need to start pouring it on. You're gonna need to win every race by at least 16 if you want to win by 2. That's the spot that they're in right now. Obviously, still comebackable. It's not minus 100 like it definitely could be at the moment, but they need to come back into this right now. Otherwise, it's gonna be curtains for the semifinal, Pidgey.
Yeah, I do not know if they're gonna be able to pull something out like this in these final few races, but I'm going to be quite interested to see if they're going to be able to do it. Because, you know, at Gungnir, they've had some good races. They've gotten those top spots. They've gotten a plus 30 race. They can continually get plus 30s. Of course, they can come back. But will they be able to do it?
It's a matter of doing that. And Moo Moo Meadows, such a brutal track to have to start a comeback on. You know, if you have momentum, if you're going to be able to be ready to play this, then sure, more power to you, but having to know that, okay, we have to come back
on the RNG gauntlet of all RNG gauntlets. You know,
It's gonna be brutal, but
with
it's
the
not
incredible
impossible.
start to a race Thomas is having at the moment, with a Bree top 3 to open up, this is one of those tracks where, you know, you start with a lot of top spots. It's really, really hard to break. So,
You can only pray for a shock, a blue shell, or otherwise, especially when you know that you don't have these top spots, and just hope that you won't get trailed out. There's a close battle between these two. Sorata gonna get bumped to the wall and moving all the way down to 8th place. I don't know what kind of lag trailing battle that Sorata was going there for, but that was not the play. I do not know what's going wrong with Sorata, but this is not the same player that we saw in the previous round. Thomas now just running away with it, but guess what? Cannot do anything to run away from the everlasting blue shell. Gonna explode, but only gonna lose a single spot, but still a lot of Bree up here.
So
Not even
much Bree
losing
in
a
the front.
sprint. Not even losing a spot, might I say. Bomb lands onto Sorata, moving all the way down to 10th. Add on the
race clip
tiltation.
there. Probably another race clip there, and gonna make his way up the pack. Has a solid amount of coins. A good item from this last set could turn his race around. With how close his pack is, gonna get triple shrooms and gonna be able to pass a few people before the boomerang comes.
Oh,
And
it gets
the
ready.
trail.
Oh, God.
Another
yeah.
clip. That's 2 in 1 lap for Sorata.
Yeah,
You
Sorata's
gotta feel for the guy.
tilted.
There's really not much that can be
Top
done about
3
that.
Bree. That you know what? That's their new name, the Top 3 Bree Show, brought to
Yep.
you by Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But yeah, Sorata was just getting hit by one thing after another, after another. We got
More
the
than happy to
action
show us the clip
replay.
here.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Moving it forward. Zooming it forward. Okay. Misses the double item box, and then gets bumped to the side.
That just sucks.
Yeah.
If he had gotten bumped into the blue there, that would have actually just been tragic.
That was like the 3rd time that single race that he got bumped to the side of the wall and lost all their momentum. So
has to go back and pick his track, but definitely is gonna want to look at that clip 100 more times at some point.
It's really unfortunate because Sorata was the one to look out for. They were the highlight reel material. They were doing fantastic, but now just getting shoved to the back of the pack, bombed, boomeranged, pushed, you name it, Sorata's receiving it. So it's really unfortunate to see, but still going into this next race, I don't have much hope for. Yeah. I mean,
It's almost
there's a
mathematically over at
match.
this point.
Yeah,
There is a world where this happens, but it is almost mathematically over. 86 points in 3 races.
Trying to be optimistic. I was trying to.
Yeah,
I
no.
was trying to squeeze it out of my body.
No, for sure. But
10th race.
still, like 40 points. You still have a few points of leeway, but you're gonna need a plus 33 races in a row. And with how well Bree is playing, it's not even just that this isn't the same Gungnir that we just watched. This isn't the same Bree that we watched either. They are absolutely going off right now, and if they keep playing the way, if they play the way that they have the first 2 GPs for just one more race, then they will be sitting pretty in D1 finals.
Yeah, easily. Because right now with an 86-point lead, if you throw this, then this will probably be the biggest throw of MKU history. Because 86 points, that's not an easy comeback in 3 races. But it's not impossible, but it's not easy to do. But right now we're already seeing the top spots being Bree in 1-3, Sorata in 2nd, going into the off-road, loses all their momentum. Sorata is just getting the nerves thrown at them at the moment. Just going into the off-road almost every lap, getting hit by their own banana, or actually by fire right behind them, and then throws one banana forward in 4th place, Toad in front of them in 3rd. As a single shroom for the gap cut. We've seen Sorata do it time and time again. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, moving their way up to 2nd place.
You know, come to think of it, I actually really like the Mushroom Gorge pick for Bree here, because the thing about it, like we keep saying, the race starts in the cave lap 3, and so much that's out of your control can go on that's like, there's no possible way you can manufacture a good race on this. There's no way you can, like, play well and be, yeah, okay, we deserved, you know, a top 5, top 6 here. Like, that doesn't just, like, happen on this. This is kind of, the best way I can put it is much more of an indiv track than anything. Sorata did not even do anything wrong, and he just lost 4 spots for not taking gap jump because he didn't pull his room. That's what I mean.
Oh! 2,
A
4,
lot
2,
of
3, 4, 5.
Gungnir up there. I think that will keep their hopes alive mathematically, but it's going to be looking at like a plus 78, which
Yeah.
is going to require.
Mathematically,
It requires 2 top 6s. That doesn't just happen.
I could, if
Take
the
a look
stars
here really
aligned.
quickly at what those spots will end up equaling to. A minus 12. Okay, 74 points. They have 2 spots of leeway. They can get not top 6. They can get top 5, 7 twice and win by 2. That's the spot we're in right now.
That is a very hard thing to pull off too, as we're seeing a lot of jumbled track picks. We got Tokyo Blur, Toad Harbor, Snooze Top Cruise, Mario Circuit, Sydney Sprint. I'm pretty sure. I don't even think that Gungnir even has like the mentality to do a 74-point difference race. I don't know. I really don't know. In these last 2, going to Grumble Volcano.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
1 spot in top 5 in the next 2 races wins it for Bree. That's all they have to do. They just have to have one of their players in the top 5 in one of the next 2 races. That's what they need to do, and they're going to do it. I'm sorry to be like, oh, it's mathematically possible. They're going to do it.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't even come down. It doesn't even matter about mathematics anymore. It just comes down to saying that Bree has shown up and been the better team throughout this second round of racing. They, like you said, the best of 3 works for them. They can just use that first game as a warm-up, understand what they have to do right, and they corrected everything. They did everything they needed to. Sorata getting trailed out one more time. They really just whipped themselves back into shape and said, you know what, this is not the team that we know we are, and we can play so much better. Thomas unfortunately getting trailed by those greens, but still, Bree showing up, playing amazingly. When there was only a 4-point difference at the highest in the first race, and now we were at 86 points, it's ridiculous. It is insane. I think we have to give a round of applause to Bree already.
They flipped the switch. They absolutely flipped the switch.
Not even jokingly.
Yeah, it does. It is a little unfortunate that not going to get to see a match 3 between these 2 teams after how incredible of a first where we saw. However, some good news. Shot coming in for probably Bree, but either way, what is some good news for the viewers here? We do have word that the other D1 semifinal between HG and XIV is at 1-1 right now. So I think what we're going to end up doing is we won't be able to cast it because both Pidgey and I have to be at work at 4. However, probably going to be hosting a POV of that semifinal, so you'll get to see a little bit more D1 action before the day of MKU ends. So won't be with us, but be sure to stick around for that for sure. Don't just support MK Central. Go and be there for the entire community as a whole. Both HG and XIV fought really hard to get to where they are, D1 semifinals, so being there for their match 3, they would both really appreciate that. Stick around for sure.
Absolutely carded non-stop. Sorata in second place, throws the red forward. Bree is there in the 3-4, and that will wrap it up.
That seals it. Yep.
It is over. 3-4-5 there for the side of Bree, and they will be taking it all in this semifinals best of 3. Congratulations to the Bree. Honestly, it's quite mind-blowing. Like, this entire best of 3 has been mind-blowing, right? Gungnir coming out, swinging out of the gate, losing it at the very last second. You thought that they would be able to take those emotions and get past them, but Bree took that momentum, flew past them, and was able to take this whole entire round basically by storm. There was a few moments where we thought that Gungnir was going to be able to come back, but for the most part, it's just been the Bree show. The top 3 Bree show, brought to you by MKC, I guess.
Yeah, and they deserve the spotlight they've had.
Yeah.
For first putting on an incredible match in the first one, and a close win. Always fun to see a close win, but just the dominance, maybe even more entertaining if that's kind of what you enjoy watching.
It is. It was an enjoyable match. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Gungnir put it forward. They were trying their best. They really wanted to win this, and it showed. They were ready. But when it came down to the second round, we have not seen Sorata like at all in this next round. They have just gotten carted, murdered, uh, green shelled, red shelled, bombed, everything you can say. Sorata just wasn't able to show up in this second round, and that really did hurt them because Sorata was literally carrying this team on their back with their item play, and unfortunately was just not doing good enough in this second round. But now we are off onto Toad Harbor. We'll see if maybe they'll just close the gap a little bit more. It would be cool, you know, maybe Gungnir goes out with the top 6, you know, get it a whole, like, look at us. We went out swinging. That's what we can hope for. The best possible situation. Look at that Sorata using that back camera beautifully, avoiding that green shell that was coming their way. Going on to the left path, just trying to do some coin running. Beautiful mini turbos there, grabbing quad shrooms, and gonna be able to land these beautiful counter hops onto the boost panel. And now gonna move all the way up to 5th place and avoids the boomerang. What is this? Spy Kids 3D? My goodness.
Toad Harbor, a track that Gungnir's been trying to pick this like the entirety of the last 2 wars, and finally getting to play it in a garbage time race 12 gets to cool down a little bit, have fun on something that they've been wanting to play all day. So, kind of nice for them. And you know, the last 2 races, yeah, they're kind of a formality. We see LMDS on Tanuki Mario taking things a little less seriously now that they have the war won, and they're ready for finals. I think Bree has a statement to make after a bit of a disappointment by their standards going down last time they were there to RK. They want to come back and establish themselves as still the best team in the West and take home another MKU.
Yeah, you already saw Thomas using the triple greens to take out Sorata there. And then Sorata gets a little bit of karma right back at him, trailing Bree, bringing him all the way back down to 5th. But genuinely, I think as long as we see the team that we're seeing now, Bree has a very good chance. But if they go in like they played with the first round, I can definitely see Bree throwing it all away. I can see them not being able to take it all home. But fortunately enough, going into this final section, we got Sorata in 3rd place. Gonna shroom up, get 2nd, confirm that one, top 2 for GE. But my God, what an absolute series it was.
Yeah, we cannot give enough credit to Bree for what they did, especially in the second war.
Yeah, there's not enough to say for it. That Bree brought it, they fixed their mistakes, and was able to take home this victory in the MKU semifinals. 2-0 for Bree. I am absolutely happy for them. Gungnir played their hearts out, and they should really just take a moment, try and understand what went wrong, and truly try and say, you know what, next season we can take them down, because they most definitely can. They just cannot get their emotions get the best of them like they did in the second round.
And absolutely, you know, what, like we keep saying, just dominance. They've been doing so well for themselves, and they absolutely deserve to be going to yet another MKU finals here. And it's going to be interesting to see who their opponent ends up being, how well this will play out, and who they have in front of them next. They're going to be sitting back and watching match 3 as well, between HDXIV. So, those of you that are going to be going to that, go enjoy yourself, because that is going to be a great war. I can absolutely assure you it will be. But as for us here at MK Central, from me, from Pidgey, and our lovely stream host Dylan, stream hosts never get enough credit. I always make sure to thank them, but you know.
Absolutely. But we also have a special secret announcement. And talking about secrets, it's going to be a Secret Santa 2v2 free-for-all Sunday, December 4th. Sign up for it. It's going to be an amazing event. I mean, to have a Secret Santa 2v2, I don't think it's a better Christmas gift than that.
Yeah, for sure. Coming right off the end of the MKU season, which will be next week, there's not a better thing to play to cool yourself down than a fun event like Secret Santa. MKC's been doing this for years. You get put with a random partner you don't know, and you find out who you've been playing with at the end of the event. It's a great time. It's super
great.
fun, and definitely I recommend everyone tries to sign up for it. Just to calm everyone down after what's been a super intense MKU season up to this point.
Totally agree with you. It's going to be an amazing event. And just to not know who your teammate is and just to have a good time, race your heart out, and just appreciate the person working with you. That's just
For
what
sure.
the season's all about, It's just appreciating each other and really just going into this Christmas season swinging. So it's going to be a really fun time.
Yeah, and as we quickly decide, I believe we're going to be rating one of the POBs for the other D1 semifinals. Not quite sure who yet, if it's going to be one of them currently being discussed among staff, but
we will get that to you very
might even
very
turn out
soon.
that we're not going to be going to D1. Could be going to someone else entirely.
Oh, we're just
And-
rating another streamer. Oh, we a little bit of a
I lied. I actually just lied. I'm spreading misinformation on the internet. Just ignore me. Just throw the raid out. I don't deserve to be talking anymore. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Pidgey. See ya.